Something that I used to do a lot at work was think about what other people are thinking. I used to think about what their problems were. How could I help them? What were they struggling with? What did they think of me? When I used to read an email, I would be like, what does this say about me? What does this person think about me? Am I a good person to them? Do they like me? Am I enough? Are they proud of me? These are questions that I did quite often in my previous jobs, and they weren't healthy. They weren't productive, and in many ways, they led to a lot of stinking thinking and also a lot of unproductive time, and also trying to crash more time into other time because I'm busy helping other people or trying to help other people solve their problems, and also really being busy being a shitaholic. Well, here is your reminder to stop thinking about what others think about. I recently had some feedback given to me through one of my coaches that essentially every time I'm worried about what's wrong with someone else or what they could be doing differently, or anytime I'm putting effort into thinking about what someone else is thinking, I'm the one that's sick. Now, I say sick because that mentality is not healthy. It's not healthy to spend a significant amount of your time wondering what other people are thinking about, what other people are struggling with, and what other people think about you. Now, that might be the first time you've ever heard that said that bluntly, and I'm also outing myself because this is something that I really, really struggled with. In the end of the day, when you go home, you are the only person that matters. You don't bring other people's things home with you. You don't bring other people's to-do lists or inboxes. It's just you. And here is another mindset that you probably have heard me say before, and I'll say it again. Every time you go into someone's life and take responsibility for something in their life to help them get through it, which sounds really good on the surface. It is rewarded in society in certain categories. But at the end of the day, every time you go into someone's life and take responsibility for that person getting better, either by doing a task, just doing it for them, or not even involving them because maybe there's too much drama. Every time you do that and take responsibility for them, listen to this part, you are taking responsibility from them. Every time you take responsibility for someone's behavior, you are taking responsibility from them to get better. Now, we talk about getting better a lot on here. And what does this have to do with stop thinking about what others think? Because it's the prelude to you taking responsibility for someone else. This all comes back to a mindset that I've been working on over the last 6 months of really honing in and focusing on me. Now, as I say it out loud, that's not something new to me. I've been working on me for 7 years. But in the context of, I'm devoting my full attention, my thoughts, and my worry to worrying about me. I am no longer trying or spending time, or if I catch myself and disconnect from it, that I am no longer trying to figure out what someone thinks, and I'm not trying to manipulate them to think a certain way. A quick analogy to understand, are you doing this and how is it showing up in your life? And maybe you don't really know where it's showing up, is ask yourself, does it feel like I'm playing chess? Like, does this relationship feel like I am strategizing 2 to 3 moves ahead to get someone to do something or to make sure that I can win this game? If you feel like you're playing chess, you're manipulating someone's behavior. And if you're manipulating someone's behavior, you're trying to get them to think a certain way in order for you to be okay. And I'm pretty sure I recorded an episode on this, but our objective is to be okay when others are not. To be okay and to be a calming presence around others. And so every time you worry about what someone else is thinking about you in every category of your life, you are also taking responsibility from you to get better. That the highest level of love is I love me to be the best version of me for you. that as I work on me, I am bringing a higher version or a better version or a whole version of me. I've dove into the word integrity. Integrity represents wholeness. The pursuit of no longer worrying about what others think about you is the pursuit of your own integrity. To bring that integrity to everything that you do in life. But I'm here to remind you, you can't do that if you're spending a significant portion of your time worrying about what other people think. And you can't stop thinking about what other people think because oftentimes there's so many stories in our life that are wired to get us to think that way. This is where having a coach, this is where having an outside perspective is really key because oftentimes psychologically, the desire to speak and have someone else think a certain way is wired from our childhood. And this is where we often don't know what story that is, what moment that is, or what narrative or feeling that we were chasing because we suppressed it. We no longer need to know. It's just part of our subconscious programming that's now in the darkness, which we've talked about the darkness on here. So stop thinking about what others think about you. Start worrying more about what you think of yourself and start speaking to yourself in a way that you would speak to other people. This is the recipe to success. This is the recipe to a whole life. And this is one of the bedrocks to the 3 L's that we've dove into the podcast and talked about too. Lead, love. And this all sums up to leave a strong legacy of wholeness, a whole family, that your kids have whole identities. They have whole beings that they go out into the world and live. I'm your host, Ben Cloy, bringing you daily advice here on the business of fatherhood. If you'd like to talk to me, reach out to me, schedule a phone call over at bencloy.com. Hit the button in the upper right-hand corner. There's a quick form to fill out, and I will be back in touch with you. Anything else, let me know at bencloy.com as well, whether you got questions, whether you got topics, whatever it may be. I am an open book, willing to answer them, willing to dive into it, and I bet if you ask the question and go first, someone else out there is waiting to hear that question. Have a great day, and we'll be back again tomorrow.